12,000 years ago, before the pyramids, before writing, before the very idea of farming, someone built a megalithic temple, a structure so ancient, so complex, that according to every history book ever written, it should not exist. This is the silent, shocking truth of Göbekli Tepe, a place that violently rips up the timeline of human civilization. Who carved these immense pillars? What unbelievable knowledge did they possess? And why did they intentionally bury the entire complex under tons of earth, hiding it from the future? The story of Göbekli Tepe is humanity's true lost origin story. By the end, you might question everything you believe about our past. Let us journey back 12,000 years to the sweeping, arid plains of what is now southeastern Turkey. Mainstream history tells us this was the time of simple, nomadic hunter-gatherers, focused only on survival. Yet, here stands a temple of staggering scale, revealing an organizational and architectural sophistication deemed impossible for the era. How did scattered tribes, constantly on the move, suddenly acquire the engineering skill to create a structure like this? These ancient builders used tools we cannot identify, shaping stone with a precision that hints at a forgotten form of geometry. What advanced understanding was guiding the hands of these prehistoric architects? We have no answer. Our story truly begins in 1994, when a local shepherd stumbled upon strange, highly worked stones protruding from the soil. This small discovery led to the arrival of German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt. He saw the stones and his world shattered. He immediately grasped the impossible scale of the discovery. This was older than Stonehenge, older than the wheel, older than agriculture itself. The emotional shock of that moment must have been overwhelming. An entire chapter of human history was opening beneath his feet. Today, after decades of digging, we have uncovered massive stone circles. But this is only the beginning. Less than 5% of the estimated complex has been excavated. What incredible secrets are still hidden in the layers below? These aren't crude rocks. They are towering, T-shaped limestone pillars, some weighing up to 50 tons, perfectly smoothed and standing sentinel. Each T-pillar is stylized, abstractly representing a human figure. Arms, belts, and hands carved into the sides. They form a perfect circular alignment, demonstrating a masterful knowledge of stonework and engineering. But the true mystery lies in the surface carvings, a dizzying menagerie of snakes, foxes, wild boars, spiders, and vultures. These are not random depictions of local prey. They are highly stylized symbols, carefully arranged, telling a visual story. There are no homes, no hearths, no refuse pits, no signs of a permanent village life anywhere near the temple. It was a site built not for living, but for assembly. Was this temple truly built for humans, or for something else entirely? The symbols, etched into the ancient stone, may be a code, a message across millennia. Some researchers propose that the alignments of the pillars point to specific constellations, creating a cosmic map. Was Göbekli Tepe a sophisticated celestial observatory, a calendar marking time for the gods? Look closer at the carvings, especially the infamous vulture stone in Enclosure D. This single pillar may encode a terrifying astronomical event, a comet strike that fundamentally altered the world. This theory connects directly to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, a period of sudden, devastating climate change around 10,800 BC. They suggest the temple is a memorial, a stone warning from an advanced people who witnessed global catastrophe. Were these symbols a testament to a forgotten cataclysm, a message sealed in stone for humanity to one day decipher? The conventional timeline is shattered by Göbekli Tepe. This is the great rewrite of history. For a century, we believed agriculture came first, leading to settlement, which then led to complex architecture and religion. Göbekli Tepe reverses this completely. The temple came first. It suggests that organized spiritual devotion did not arise from civilization, but rather created the necessity for civilization. Hunter-gatherers had to stay in one place. They had to organize. They had to feed a workforce. And thus, farming began. The desire for the temple may have been the very engine that drove humanity out of the Stone Age. But where did they get the knowledge to even conceive of such a structure? Let us challenge the official dating. Some controversial analyses argue the site may be far older than 12,000 years. What if this complex structure was built before the catastrophic end of the Ice Age, before the Great Thaw? If true, it means that sophisticated people, or someone, were building megaliths at the very same time the woolly mammoth still walked the earth. It raises the spectral possibility of a lost, pre-Ice Age civilization, one wiped clean from the history books by rising waters and global destruction. Did survivors of that forgotten world carry their knowledge to Turkey and attempt to rebuild? Perhaps Göbekli Tepe is not a beginning, but a fragile, desperate memory of a great civilization's end. And now we face the most profound mystery of the site: the deliberate burial. This temple was not abandoned. It was meticulously, intentionally covered up. The people spent centuries burying their masterpiece, layer by layer, sealing the stone circles with tons of chalky soil and stone rubble. Why go through the incomprehensible effort of hiding a wonder of the ancient world, only to leave the future to rediscover it? Was it a religious ritual? The decommissioning of sacred space after its purpose was fulfilled? Or protection from disaster? Hiding this immense collective memory from a future disaster they knew was coming? They sealed the structures almost perfectly, ensuring their preservation for over 10 millennia, waiting for the right time to emerge. Or were they hiding a truth humanity was not ready for? The builders of Göbekli Tepe vanished, but the memory may have scattered across the globe. We find echoes of this advanced early world wisdom in Sumerian myths, tales of ancient teachers bringing knowledge to humanity. We see similar impossible precision in the Egyptian legends of Zep Tepi, the first time of the gods. And what about the other impossible megalithic sites that share the same signs of forgotten engineering? Sites like Karahan Tepe, only recently discovered, even older and eerily similar, suggesting a widespread cultural root. Was Göbekli Tepe the world's first spiritual capital? And why do so many ancient cultures share the same symbols? It suggests a common source, a singular, powerful impulse at the dawn of human history. The question is no longer whether this site is ancient. That truth is undeniable. The question is, how much of humanity's origin story is still sealed away, hidden beneath the earth? And if Göbekli Tepe is the truth, what other forgotten civilizations are waiting to be uncovered, forever changing who we think we are? We face the possibility that human history is not a straight line of gradual progress, but a cyclical narrative of catastrophe and rebirth. Göbekli Tepe forces us to consider the Great Flood, Atlantis, and other myths not as fictional tales, but as faint, broken histories. The sheer effort of moving 50-ton blocks without draft animals or the wheel points to a social structure driven by something far more potent than simple utility. It was faith, a unified, powerful spiritual imperative that transcended mere survival economics. The builders used natural contours, quarrying the massive T-pillars directly out of the bedrock, then transporting them over steep hills. They had an intimate, sacred relationship with the materials they used, understanding the stone almost as if it were alive. And the carvings themselves, so deep and precise, were made without metal. They used only stone tools, harder stone hammers and chert points. This required centuries of continuous generational work. Knowledge had to be preserved, passed down, and maintained. The recurring imagery of the vulture holding a dismembered human head is perhaps the most chilling part of the code. It suggests ritualized excarnation, a belief system where the body is left for the birds, allowing the soul to ascend to the heavens. This concept of the soul ascending through vultures appears in places like ancient Persia and Tibet, thousands of miles away, millennia later. How could a hunter-gatherer cult in Turkey share such a specific, esoteric spiritual belief with cultures born thousands of years in the future? The simple answer is that the knowledge was not invented by the builders, it was inherited. It suggests Göbekli Tepe was built not to celebrate the future, but to memorialize the glorious, forgotten past. The pillars are not monuments of conquest. They are monuments of remembrance. If a complex megalithic culture existed and was wiped out around 10,800 BC, we must reconsider every other ancient site. Was Göbekli Tepe the ultimate time capsule, holding the essential knowledge humanity needed to survive the post-catastrophe Dark Age? They taught us how to organize, how to believe, and how to start over, all sealed in the earth, waiting for the return of the sun. Göbekli Tepe stands silent beneath the Turkish hills. It is a messenger from a people we've long forgotten, or perhaps from a civilization our history books never even knew existed. The stones are cold to the touch, yet they burn with the memory of a lost world. They waited 10,000 years to tell their story, for the moment our instruments could finally hear it. The question is no longer whether this site is ancient. That truth is undeniable. The question is, how much of humanity's origin story is still sealed away, hidden beneath the earth? And if Göbekli Tepe is the truth, what other forgotten civilizations are waiting to be uncovered, forever changing who we think we are? Follow for more as we dive into this incredible mystery.